just hits different, right? You're the points leader for Top Fuel. You're there. And what was the response to that? I know you're there to do a job. That's number one. Everybody's working, right? It's the Indy 500. It deserves great respect and to be in the moment on the broadcast. But at the same time, I'm sure you got a lot of commentary. What was that like?
Yeah, it was fun. It's fun because I haven't been around the IndyCar guys for quite a while, but to be there and, before we got started with the show, they were all excited for us that we've won a couple races this year and that we've got the points lead. And we all know we got a long way to go for sure, but it was fun to do that. But you immediately switch gears. I mean, when you're calling the Indianapolis 500, there is so much that goes around it. We had so many celebrities there that it was there was a lot going on Saturday at the rehearsal. And then again on Sunday, obviously on race day, we had a lot of responsibilities. So we all were just focused on doing the job at hand most of all. But, and of course, it wouldn't be Indianapolis without, the threat of some weather. And we had a tiny delay with weather at the beginning. So I know we got our steps in for sure because Chris Myers and I were on the set behind the pagoda. And then we end up transitioning over to the front stretch and being on the stage or the set that was on the track, which was really cool. And then, after that, we're supposed to go back and just hang out in the green room and watch the race and make notes of what we're seeing and talk about it again in the post race. But delayed start with some weather, so they rushed us back to the pagoda set to fill time and had to do that a couple times. So it just made for a really busy day. But like I said, just the opportunity to be back at Indy and see the pageantry involved in it. To see the excitement from the fans. I mean, it wasn't a hot day. It wasn't a warm day. There were lots of people in shorts, and it was, in the low to mid 60s, it felt like. So, to be there and be a part of that and get to work with James Hinchcliffe and Chris Myers, Danica, it was a cool group of people to work with again.
Yeah, really, really cool. I've been to Indy a couple of times, and the pageantry, there's nothing better. They have got it nailed on the pageantry with the bagpipers and walking out on the front stretch and seeing 400,000 people. Like, that is insanity. And I like the idea of borrowing some of that for our NHRA universe as best as we can. But the 110 years of history is just amazing at Indy, and great storylines. Alex Palou, the Penske saga, like all of that, good or bad. It was dramatic. One thing I saw though, and I found this to be interesting, I don't even know if it's real. Someone posted, "What is a drag racer NASCAR guy know anything about Indy?" And I was like, could that be? I guess it can. I guess that just, it shows that sometimes it's better to exercise your right to remain silent, because that poor guy just got bombarded. I didn't even know about it till I think the next day I saw the post and saw what we had posted from the TSR Nitro side. But it's people don't know what they don't know for sure. And obviously, we had a stint there from 96 through 98 of running the IRL and getting to run 3 Indy 500s there, and went back and did the double in 99 and then went back again in 2001 and did the double again. But it's, not everybody knows our background and our history, and that's okay. That doesn't offend anybody. It's just whatever form of motorsport you're in, that's what you're into. So not everybody knows that we drove IndyCar and that we were an IndyCar champion at 1.2. Well, exactly. And the guy now knows he was hopefully treated fairly. I'm sure all his friends abused him over that one a little bit. And will still, like a public deal. And so people are out there in the chat, and thank you very much for sharing the show, guys. We'll talk New England. We'll talk claw filing, see if Tony's ready to sit on a bunch of lobster pots. But since we're talking about this, you did do the double. You mentioned it twice, the 500 and the Coke 600 on the same day. He says, how did you feel? I want to, because Kyle Larson's doing it now. The travel is easier. Things are easier every year, a little more creature comfort. Still, man, it's 1,100 miles in a race car. Can't be easy. No, it's not. I mean, and all of it's preparation. And that's, that's something that even when we were on the lake in Lake Powell, we went on a houseboat trip with some friends. We actually went with Buddy Hall and his wife, Maddie, and their son, Maverick, and a couple of friends of ours. We went together, and we were actually on the surf boat out surfing. I said, hey, we got to stop for a second. I got to take this call from Kyle Larson, because I'd reached out to him trying to just get some details of what he was doing to prepare for it. And it's a lot more than what people realize. It's the 1,100 miles is one thing, but it's all the details and all the logistics and little details. Things like, if Kyle made it to the end of the Indy 500,
He would get out of the car, go to the end of pit road, like you would go toward turn 1, get in an SUV. They would drive him around to a spot on the back stretch to cut across the track to the helicopter. You helicopter to the Indy airport, and then you get in the jet. You jet down to Concord, North Carolina. Then you get in another helicopter, and you literally helicopter right into the infield on the front stretch and get out and wave to everybody and get ready for 600 more grueling miles in a stock car. So there's just a lot that goes into it, but Kyle's really fit. He's racing all the time. So the physical aspect of it was the least of his worries. It literally was what started the event, the weather, having weather delays. The one thing that they can't control is time. They can control everything else but the time. So that was a little bit of a drama right away. It was eating into the window that they had. And then obviously Kyle had his problem at the 500 that took him out of the race, and gave him plenty of time to get to Charlotte, but didn't seem like it went much better when he got there. But kid did a great job. I mean, I can promise you, without being in these, I haven't been in an Indy car since 2001, so over 20 years now. But I've got a lot of friends in IndyCar, and knowing what all they have to do inside the car, the controls, the adjustments that they can make during the lap on the fly. It's more than just front and rear sway bars. And we had a hydraulic weight jacker in the car when I drove. Those were the 3 tools that I had. These guys, and plus changing the fuel mixtures and this and that. But, these guys got front and rear sway bars the same. They've got an electronic weight jacker like we basically like what we had. But they've got so many tools in there that they have to use nonstop because the cars are so competitive and so close that you can't give anything up in any of the 4 corners on that track every lap. So they're very, very busy inside those cars.